Hello everybody, Jamie the Board Game Man. In today's episode we are going vintage, back to the year 1983. This game is by Milton Bradley, ages 8 and adult, 2 to 4 players. It is called Scavenger Hunt. Now in this game you have 4 different items that you're going around the neighborhood and people's houses to try to find these items. The first player that collects all 4 of their items in the order that they need to be picked up and head back home wins the scavenger hunt. So let's head on over to the gamers table, where I'm going to show you 1983's Scavenger Hunt. All right, here we are at the gaming table with Scavenger Hunt. Let's go take a peek. All right, so as you see here, we have our board, which is very colorful, very nice, very 80s. We also have our little card holder with all the cards in the deck, which actually goes right in the middle here. You also have your instruction booklet, which is actually pretty cool. They did a pretty good job with it. See, it folds out like so, and then it opens up and goes to the back. Okay. You also have the 4 playing pieces, which unfortunately I was missing one of them. I have these little small playing pieces, but I went ahead and got the green that matches on here and went ahead and did that. You have a pair of dice. You also have 2 dogs, and you also have 18 of these. These are actually the items that you're trying to find for your scavenger hunt, and which is pretty cool. And you have 16 of those, 4 for each player. The object of the game is you're trying to leave your house and get the 4 items that you've been given and get back to your home. And when you're the first person that does that, you win the game. Well, let's go ahead and show you how this works. So first and foremost, what you're going to do is each player, we're going to put these dogs aside here. And let's just say we just have a 3 player. So we'll do blue here, we'll do red right here, and we'll do yellow. We'll keep green out. We'll put these dice to the side. And what you can do is it doesn't really matter whether you put these down, face up. But I'll just tell you what the instructions say, because these are not top secret. It doesn't matter what they are. There's 16 different items, and you just remember which 4 are yours. Okay, that's all you need to do. Now, each player needs to have a pen and paper with them, because you need to write down which items in what order you are going to have to find these items, because there's 4 items you need to find, but all 4 need to be found in order. So what you're going to do, let's just say red player chose these 4, and let's see that player blue over here picked those 4, and yellow picked these 4. Okay, these 4, other 4, for the 4th player, we don't have a 4th player, they would go in the box. Okay, so each player is going to go ahead and look and see what each player has. They have a trunk, some bongos, a moose head, and a wooden Indian. And then let's see, we got the blue player's got a comic book, some spurs, some dentures, and some shoes. And then the red player has a bird cage, a trombone, a flamingo, and a dress form. All right. So each one of these players, they know what you're going to do is they're going to write those down, what they have, and so on. Now there are 4 different rooms in each house that you're trying to find these items. As you see on here, we have attic, kitchen, garage, and closet. All right. Each house is going to have each one of these rooms, and each one's going to have the appropriate color that goes with the pawns. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to take these cards, you're going to take one of each card out of the deck, one of each of these. So you're going to take a closet out, you're going to take a garage out. Let's see, you're going to go ahead and take an attic, and we got one more left. Let's see what we got here. What are we missing here? The kitchen. There we go. So that's what you're going to start, is you're going to pull one of each of those. I'm going to put these cards aside for a second. Then you're going to go ahead and take these and shuffle them. I don't know what the purpose of this is, but that's okay. They just want you to shuffle them, all right? And now, each player is going to have their pen and paper. And you're going to say, okay, the first room is going to be the kitchen. So now what everyone's going to do is they're going to take one of their items, and they're going to place it in the appropriate kitchen with their color, all right? So for instance, let's say red says, okay, the trombone, and this is the red kitchen. That was his because he's the red player, red kitchen. He's going to place a trombone. So now what he's going to do on his piece of paper, he's going to write item number 1, trombone. Okay, so he's going to have to come over here. And you might want to write kitchen also. That way you know what room you're looking for when you're going around. So he's going to write trombone for item number 1, kitchen. Blue is going to say, okay, I'm going to get the spurs. And I'm going to look for the blue kitchen. Blue kitchen's over here. So he's going to place the spurs right there. And he's going to write on his piece of paper, item number 1, spurs, kitchen. All right. Yellow player, the same thing. Yellow player is going to look at theirs. Put yellows over here. The bongos, he's going to look for the yellow kitchen. It is right here, yellow kitchen. He's going to write down item number 1, kitchen bongos. Okay, and that's how you do that. Then you get the second room, which is the closet. We got the closet the second time, so we're going to place the closet here. And now we're going to do the same thing. Red's going to say, okay, bird cage. You're going to look for the red closet right there. Let's just say the blue is going to do the same thing, where the blue closet's right there. And yellow is going to say the trunk. The yellow closet is right here. Okay. Then you're going to go to the third item, the attic. Okay, same thing. You're going to do the same thing. Red's going to go, here's the dress form. He's going to look for the red attic. Dentures, blue attic. And the yellow is going to be the wooden Indian. He's going to look for the yellow attic. And then, of course, you have the final one, the garage. So you're going to do the final one. Red garage is right here. Comic book, that's the blue garage, which is right here. And yellow garage is going to be right here. Okay? And then we're done. We're all set up. And you can see there's 3 in each room. Or in each house. I'm sorry, each house. Okay? Now you're going to put these 4 cards back into the stack. And you're going to do a shuffle. You're going to shuffle the whole stack. Whoops, woo. Okay? You're going to keep this in here. Just like so. And then each player is going to be dealt 5 cards. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're going to put these cards right here. And this is going to be your discard pile. That's how that works. Each player is going to roll both dice. Whoever rolls the highest goes first. Now, like I said, every player is going to have their piece of paper in front of them. And they jotted down item number 1, item 2, item number 3, and item number 4. They're going to have them all written down, so they have to get them in that order. Now let's go ahead and talk about movement. As you can see, the arrows are all pointing this way. This is the sidewalk. This is the way everyone's going to be going, is this way. All right, so you're having to keep going this way. And then in order, and what you're going to do is, let's look at Blue's hand here. He has a couple attics. He has a tree, 2 trees, and a dog card. Now let's go ahead and go over these rooms right here. In order for you to enter, so you're going through here, in order for you to enter into the closet area, you would need to have a closet card. Let's see if we can have one here. We get lucky to have a closet card in here somewhere. With my luck, probably not. But okay, we do. So you would need this card in order to enter the closet and also to move with your dice. So let me go over that real quick before I go ahead of myself. So Blue's going to go ahead. We'll say Blue's first. He rolls a 9. All right. So what he's going to do, this counts as a space in front of here. Going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now say he wanted to get in that closet room. Okay. Perfect example here. He would need to get the closet just like this. Let's just say these are his cards. We're gonna cheat. Let's say these are his cards, okay? So he goes, okay, I have my closet card. He's gonna play the closet card that allows him access. He still has one more on his die roll. 9. Let's just say the trunk was his. So just like that, he snagged the trunk. That is the first item on his list. Okay, now obviously it's not, it's yellow. But I'm just showing you how you actually go in and pick up one of your pieces. And then you go here. Okay, and you're going to place it right on your little list there. That way it shows you that you got your first item. Okay. Same with the attic. When you need to go in the attic, you need an attic card, and you also need to have enough pips on there to move. Now, you do not need to hit this on an exact roll. So let's just say you were here, and you rolled like a 6. Okay. You have an attic card. You go in here, you go, okay, I have an attic right here. You're going to use the attic card, you're going to place it in here, and you're going to go ahead and use the 1. You always have to use all of your roll. So when you roll the dice, you must use every single one of your pips here, except for when you land on a piece that you're trying to get. Once you land on the piece you need to get, that ends your turn. You can take your piece and you're done. All right, that's it. That's one of the exceptions on using the entire dice roll. You need to use all the dice roll, except for if you land here. There is one other area, and I'm going to go over that in just a second. If you want to cut through the little forest area, that's what the tree card was for. Remember on these one, I showed you a tree. Okay, I think it might have been over here, actually. Here you go. If in order to cut through here, you're going to need a tree card. That allows you access to go in here, and then you're going to need another card. You'll need a garage card to go in here, and you'll need a closet card to go in here. Okay, so now it's very touchy when you go into the garage. Now this can be a little tricky here because you might find yourself trapped in the garage. Now you can see the closet, the attic, and the kitchen have access to the sidewalks. Garage does not. So in order for you to get out of that garage, you need to either have, like in this case, you need a forest card to get out of there. You need a closet card to get out of there. And you also need a kitchen card to get out of there. So that's the catch of going into a garage is you can't just go back out of it. You actually need another card of some way to get out of it. So sometimes you might be stuck in there. Say you're right here, you're stuck in there. All right. You roll the dice, but you don't have any card. You don't have that specific card. You don't have a closet card or a kitchen card or a forest card. Then you're stuck and you can't use the dice. So that's the only two exceptions to not using the entire dice roll. Is if when you actually land on your piece to get it, or if you might be just trapped in the garage. All right, those are the two things. So let's go over a turn. When you first start, you're going to grab a card. You're going to put it in your hand, and then you're going to roll the dice. You're going to make your move, and then you're going to play any cards you need to play. Closet, attic, any of those, the cards that you need to play. And then you either end your turn, you're good to go. If you land on a roll again space, obviously you're just going to roll again. But before you roll again, you're going to grab another card. So you're going to grab another card, and then you're going to roll again. Every time you have another turn, you're going to grab another card. Okay. Okay, so let's discuss the dog tokens. Now, these dog tokens, what happens with these is they're little blockades. So you cannot go through a dog. How you place a dog is you might have a dog card in your hand. Like I showed you earlier, you have a dog card. What you can do is you can actually block an opponent from going down the sidewalk. So let's just say you play this card. You can actually place the dog right here on the sidewalk. Now, the only place you cannot place the dog is in an entryway. So you cannot place it here where you can't go inside a room. That you cannot do, but you can place it anywhere on the sidewalk that you want. That would keep your player from actually, maybe your opponent, maybe you place it right here. He cannot go beyond that dog. Now, this is what happens. Say it's his turn and the dog's right here. Say he rolled a 6. Let's just say he rolls a 6. Well, you can't go 6 spaces, but this is how this works. What you do is you're going to go as far up as you can, and you're going to bounce off the dog and go backwards. So you're going to go 1, 2, and then you can't go any farther. You have to go 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's how that works. You're going to go up to the dog, and then you go back as far as what you rolled. Now, sometimes you can use this to your advantage. Let's just say you were trying to get in this house, and let's just say you rolled too high of a number. You didn't have the closet card, so you couldn't get in there. What you can do is you can actually, when you're done with your turn, you can actually even put the dog in front of you. Say you bypass this house. Say you want to get in this house, you totally blew past it, and you're right here. What you can do is if you roll a high number, you can place a dog right here if you have a dog card. And that's a good way to go back and try to get back in that house. Let's just say it was right here and you rolled a 12. You can go 1, 2, you bounce off the dog, go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can actually go back towards that house and have another chance because remember, we have to get these items in the order you got it. So you don't want to have to go all the way back around and again. So you can actually use these dogs to your advantage by doing that. So you can actually put it against your opponent or put it against yourself, and that will maybe it might help you to go get back here to get back to the item you need. All right, so there's that. Now also, what you also want to keep in mind is if you want to save on some spaces here, you can always cut through. So let's just say maybe you had a forest card and a closet card. So instead of going all these spaces here, you can just go boom, boom, boom. And that way, you can do that in this game. If you have the cards, by all means use them because you can use as many cards as you want in your hand. And then at the end of your turn, if you run out of cards in your hand, then you would draw back up to 5 cards if you run out of cards. But at the very beginning of each turn, if you have any cards in your hand, you're going to draw 1 to start off your turn. And like I said earlier, then you'll roll the dice, you do your move, you move, and all that good stuff, okay? Now, you have these all directionals. This is like a wild card, where this allows you inside any of the rooms. The only time you cannot use this card is if you're gaining a piece. So let's just say right here, you're right here, but you don't have an attic card. You are not allowed to use this card. This is the only time this card is not wild. Now let's just say you're just trying to cut through and you have an attic card, but you don't have a closet card. Yes, you can use this to get into the closet. You use your attic card, and then you can move on. Okay, that you can do. But the only time you cannot use this is if you're trying to get one of your pieces. You cannot use it for that. Once you go around, you start picking up all your pieces, and as soon as you manage to pick up all 4 of your items, you need to make it back to your home. First person to go around the board, pick up all 4 of the items that they need in the order that they were drawn, and make it back to your house, wins the game. And that, my friends, is Scavenger Hunt. Now let's head on over to the game room, and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so my final thoughts on Scavenger Hunt. What a cool little game. To have someone that had come up with the imagination of, okay, we're going to place 4 discs in these houses, and you have to go around the neighborhood on these sidewalks, and you have to have a card to enter the rooms and in the yard. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's a pretty cool little fun little game. It's definitely for kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of my vintage games I have here are for kids, and I enjoy playing them. They're a lot of fun, and if you just want a real light game where it's on the weekend, let's play a quick little game, or maybe during the week, you're tired, you just got home from work, you just had dinner, let's play a quick little fun little game where you don't have to use too much brain power because your brain is already gone as enough as it is after you finish work for the day. It's a great little game to pull out, and go ahead and play. I'm going to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I think it's just the imagination behind it is really cool. Especially the dogs. I mean, again, making the little barricades, and which actually, I mean, sometimes it's not really a gotcha thing because, I mean, if you have a dog card, you play it, you move the dog out of the way. Or if you can cut through the house, if you have the appropriate cards, you just go around. Okay, I'll go through the attic, I'll go through the kitchen, go back out on the sidewalk, and I went around the dog. No big deal, So the dogs aren't really that big of a deal, but the really cool part about the dogs is sometimes you can use it to your advantage, because maybe you might have bypassed that house that you tried to get to, but you have to fulfill that dice roll, and maybe you went beyond it. Well, I'll put a dog right there, and then I'll bounce off the dog and maybe go back far enough where I can get back into that house. So the dogs aren't really not all bad. I mean, they could actually be good if you could, if you bypassed your house. So really, really awesome. Very light, and hopefully you can find this game. I know I bought it for like $5 off Facebook Marketplace. I believe it was when I was still in California. It was actually a church that sold it. I had no idea it was until I arrived at the address. I'm thinking, am I at the right place? And I saw some lady come out. Oh, are you Jamie? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's cool. So I actually went towards the church. So that was pretty cool. And it was and it's in awesome condition. I mean, usually this is all pushed in or ripped and torn, but no, it's in great condition for $5. I mean, the game is made in 1983. I mean, we're coming up on 40 years old here, and you can see in the tutorial, it looked great. All I was missing was one of the pieces. That's not a big deal. One of the tokens to move around, not a big deal. I found another one that was similar to it, just a little bigger. Works out fine. Not even a biggie. But it had all the stands for the dogs. It had all the cards. It had all the tokens. That's all I asked for there, because those you can't really replace. So I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with this game. Let me know if you have the game and enjoy it or don't like it. Maybe you haven't heard of the game before, and you're thinking, oh, you know what? I'm going to look into this. So hopefully I did that for you, and hopefully I explained it good enough for you. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I always love reading those comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, everybody, happy gaming!